really, just to say, where are you at today? What number would you say you're at today? This is anonymous, by the way.
I can't see the numbers now.
Oh, because that's come off. That was an oversight, wasn't it? So probably 1, 5, 2, 3, 4, all kind of at the bottom and hanging on. Yeah. Can you just going to say, can we close and re-enter? Just have a little look at the slide. We've got some responses just coming in. 18, 10s, 1s, 11s, 12s. I like number 10, yeah. We got any number 1s in there? Let's have a look. Anyone? Yeah. Cool, number 1s, just hanging on. And the purpose of that really is just to kind of highlight, you know, we're all at different places, and sometimes we can be at number 1 in the morning, and then by the end of the day be at number 20. Things fluctuate for us all, so it's just really to highlight that point. Can we have the next question, please, Dawn, which is, what are your biggest challenges and concerns at the moment? As I say, can be completely honest. This is anonymous. No one, these results don't, they're for us to kind of evaluate and look at, you know, what the needs are. Workload, yeah. Hybrid. Yeah. Morale. Agendas, uncertainty. Yeah. Hybrid, is that in a negative way or a positive way? Delivering quality. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we can be able to help with some of those things throughout today's session. There might be some light bulb moments for some of us. And then we've just got one more question that we're just going to ask. If you could change one thing right now, what would it be? More staff? Less staff? More. Knowledge. Knowledge around how to look after yourself. Time. Stability. Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? Development. Okay. Right. I'm just going to leave that there for now. And if we can move on to the next slide. Thanks for contributing to that. And hopefully, you know, some things will become a little bit clearer for you. So good work, good well-being. What does it mean? It's when we're able to be at our best at home and at work. And Sandeep Renaud, who is the wellbeing guardian for Greater Manchester, she has put this quote together, and I think it's really poignant, really, to, you know, what we need to change. We need to change the narrative from what's the matter with you to what matters to you. And I think it's really important that we, when we're thinking about the workforce in particular and our colleagues, those around us and ourselves, it certainly is what does matter to us, what is important. Okay, next slide, please, Sophie. Okay, so as part of the wellbeing activities across GM to support the health and social care workforce, we've been running like a series of these wellbeing sessions, really. And popular ones include menopause, MSK, and sessions like today, looking after yourself and your teams, as well as lots of others. The wellbeing toolkit was created last year, as I hope most of you are aware, and it focuses on 3 main aspects of wellbeing, which are physical, practical, and psychological. And what we mean by that is feeling valued within and recognised within your workplace, having the psychological safety to be able to be open and honest and have meaningful conversations, have a sense of belonging to your teams and to your departments, and have permission to be able to access activities like this, sessions like these that are going to enhance, support and improve your well-being, and to share that information with those around you. So in the sections looking after yourself, supporting others, and responding to need. Can we just move on to the next slide, please? So you can see that each of the sections has sections within it and hyperlinks on how to stay active, eating well, financial advice, hybrid working, as someone's mentioned. There is a section dedicated to that, and the others, as you can see, and we will be running through some of them throughout today's session. Supporting others, how you check in with your team, how you're setting up buddy networks, wellbeing champions in the workplace, again, which will show how we start thinking about having those good conversations, how we identify and signpost our colleagues to information around things that may be showing up for them at work, around menopause, bereavement and grief, and the session on suicide as well. So responding to need, again, that is sessions around people who need further ongoing support in terms of that psychological element of things, when things have escalated a little bit further and it's beyond your scope as a line manager, where to signpost those staff to, or as a colleague, or for yourself if you're finding that people around you are noticing a difference in you personally and saying, you know, is everything okay? I think you're not quite yourself. Signpost to what support is available. So can we move on to the next slide, please, Sophie? Again, these are the wellbeing champions, first aiders. Again, not kind of going to stress the point with this, really. It's very self-explanatory. You've got support for your workplace and those who want to directly get support for themselves, really, in terms of employee assistance programs and GM Resilience Hub. Take on the next slide, please, Sophie. So some of you might be aware of this slide already, and this kind of Mind's 5 Ways to Wellbeing, and what that means, really. So it's been around for quite a long time, and it's proven that those simple actions can help you find balance, build mental resilience, and boost your mental health and well-being. So, you know, by being active is associated with lower rates of depression and anxiety across all age groups, and whether that is just organising, you know, one physical activity or incorporating one activity into your working day can make a huge difference. Taking notice of things that are around you and being present can make a difference to your mental well-being as well. Having a clear the clutter day, I think tidy mind, as people call it, when you have that spring clean, and we feel better when we've got rid of all the rubbish and things. Again, it's taking notice of that. Learning new things, and is another way of being mindful and kind of taking up something new or learning something is always a good way to be able to support good mental health as well. And giving back, connecting with your community, with socially with people, is always another great way to improve your mental well-being. We will pop the slide, the link to mine's 5 ways to well-being into the chat, so you can look at that and delve into it a little bit more. Okay, I'll take the next slide, please, Sophie. So mental health, you just might need to click that again, if that's okay. So we all have varying levels of mental health. Can you just click that again, Sophie, just so the numbers come up? There you go. Thank you. 1 in 6 of us experience common mental health problems at any one time, and in Greater Manchester alone, almost 500,000 people. It won't always be the same. We have been living through quite a bit of uncertainty and challenging times over the past 18 months, 2 years in particular, and varying levels of what's shown up for people over that time as well has kind of been at a bit of a sliding scale. Some days you can feel really well, and you're kind of battling on through and things are great, and other times it's a real challenge to just get through the working day, or to manage where you're at. But I think it's just important to recognise that we all have mental health, and the blobs on the tree are a significant kind of indicator of that as well, how we can all vary, and recognising that within your colleagues, that sometimes it's not always great for everyone. What affects one person, if there's a particular incident happened within the workplace, it might affect one person really severely, and another person it just might wash over them. And it's about just recognising that, and each person is on their own journey, and as I say, it's just kind of calling that out really. Okay, can I take the next slide? I think we're going in. Oh, mental health toolkit. So yeah, this was put together by the Greater Manchester Good Employment Charter, and again, it's another resource that you can kind of look into to find out any information to support mental health in the workplace. It's got some great ideas on how to incorporate that into your workplace, and we've put the link in the chat for that as well, so you can take a look at it. The session, we'll go on to the next slide, please. So this is a group activity. I'm not sure how many people have we got on the session today. 13. Okay, so I think we will go into some breakout rooms, and we'll just go in 2s and 3s if that's all right. Dawn or Sophie, I'm not sure who's navigating the breakout rooms. Sorry, Sophie, just the slide. Just if that could just go back on just for a second, while people just take a picture of the questions, okay. And then. If you've got your phone to hand, it's just a group activity, and it's just about what does well-being look like for you? What have you learned over the last 12 months in particular? What does a good day at work look like for you? And what do you need to do to make it happen? And what we'll do is, whoever's comfortable with sharing feedback in the main room after you come back, because I would like to start a conversation with you all. This session is about you guys, and I would like to know kind of where you're at and how we can best support you in your workplaces. So if everyone's done that, then we can go off into some breakout rooms just for about 10 minutes. And then we'll come back and feedback. Introduce yourselves to each other, obviously, and just have a conversation about kind of, you know, what's shown up for you. Just might take a little minute just to organise that, but Sophie's on it.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry, it's fine.
Let me delete. Hang on. Right.
Do you need to stop sharing to do that, Sophie, or?
I'm just trying to make sure that me, you, and Dawn aren't put in the room.
Oh, okay.
So. Sorry, everyone.
It's fine. A minute feels like a long time when you're on Teams.
No.
It's fine for me. I'm just writing my notes, so it's great. Take your time. I'll have more to say.
I think I've done it. Let's try.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sophie.
Just waiting for them to open. Yeah. Oh, did it good. Because guest is you, isn't it? So
yes.
Like,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for that. Yeah, you can stop sharing now so we can see everyone on the screen when they come back, and hopefully we'll have some good. I'm sure I think you've got different slides to me, you know. The slides are not in that. I didn't have that other slide on. So it threw me a bit, the second slide.
Which one with the apples? No?
There was that one, but I'm just going to send you my my slides, and can you get on your email?
Yeah, I'll just open it.
Just so.
These were the ones that you sent me, though, that I just saved.
I think we did we change them? I think we took a couple out.
Oh, right.
Just for the time. I don't know. Was it me who sent them, or did Nazi send them?
The ones that I saved were the ones that you sent me with the running order.
Right, okay. I might have taken one out. Yeah, I think I just took a couple out because they said the same. So when I was looking at the signpost, it had that and then the signpost on. So I was like, oh, it says the same thing. It just takes something like that just to throw you off a little bit, doesn't it?
All right. Okay, I've got them. So I'll close that one and just open this one.
Yeah, so we've gone to group activity, and then we should have the importance of wellbeing champions.
Yeah, got it.
Who is the guest? Is that you? This looks like there's somebody else.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm just on my on my phone.
Oh, right, okay.
So they went in at 21. So we just bring them back out after half
You
past
can do
one.
an announcement, can't you, Dawn? Shall I give them an
Yeah,
announcement?
I usually give a 2-minute warning, like when
Do
they've
you
got
want a
2 minutes.
2-minute warning, Michelle, or
Yeah, we can do, just not yet. We've got
or
about
5 minutes?
yeah, we'll bring them. It's 24 now. They've only been
Mhm.
in there a few minutes, aren't they? 3 minutes or so. So they'll be due out about past. So yeah, 28. Just send. We've got 2 minutes. It goes quite
Okay.
quickly when they're in the room, really. And then we're kind of on track. Just to we'll hopefully get some of that somebody who's going to be talkative and feedback. I always hate just starting the session off. It's like, oh.
I just noticed we're still recording it, aren't we?
Yes. Be able to edit that out, won't I?
Well, the weather's horrendous. Is it bad there? Like
Cleared up here. It was raining this morning. It says rain is coming.
absolutely chucking it down, and my husband's took the kids out on bikes.
Oh,
So no doubt they'll come back very soon.
you're gonna have wet washing,
Oh.
more washing.
I was like, please just keep them out till 2 o'clock. I don't care, just keep them out till 2. But I'm not so sure now. What?
You're on holidays already.
Yeah,
Yes.
they broke up on Friday. 2 weeks. Some schools haven't broke up yet, have they? They break up next week.
Yeah, a primary school backs onto me, and I can always hear them playing out at dinner time. The kids.
Oh,
Nah, no, they don't break up yet.
no. Quite a long time.
Yeah, I think it's the 19th, isn't it? Before they go back, 18th, 19th.
Yeah, 19th.
Yeah.
I feel like they've only just been off as well, because like February half
February.
term doesn't seem that long ago.
I know.
Is that your birthday, Michelle?
Is the
What, the
19th?
19th, is it? Are you off that day?
I am, because I get birthday leave in my trust.
Oh,
So
that's
I
nice.
still,
Do we not get that?
I think because I'm on secondment, I still kind of follow the rules of my organisation that I've come
Right.
from. So I get birthday leave, which is quite nice.
I think the partnership needs to do that.
Yeah, I think there is some other staff benefits coming out there, like health and wellbeing days or something like that. Something that you can do to promote your own wellbeing. So yeah.
Where did you come from? Wigan, was it?
Yeah, Wigan Hospital, yeah, Rysington, Wigan and Lee.
So will you go back there in like September or?
In October, end of
October.
September. Yeah, when my secondment finishes.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
so,
loads of people on secondment that I've noticed. Quite
yeah,
a popular thing to do.
yeah. It's more and more popular. I think the same with the temporary like contracts and things like that. You just put your 2-minute warning in. So, and I think that's where a lot of like the uncertainty is for a lot of people who are going through that transition now. It's really difficult for people, and I've kind of I've been there myself with that, and it's a horrible feeling not knowing what's going on and where you're at, and you can't commit to anything, you know. It does have a significant impact on you.
Yeah.
Will you have a job to go back to, like, or does it not get affected by
I've
ICU?
got a substantive post, yeah.
Oh,
So my substantive post is staff wellbeing practitioner. So that's what I do, kind of. This has been like a bit of a promotion, a step up for me, really. It's been a big step. But it's been good. I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff that I can kind of hopefully help influence if I do go back into my own trust and change, and, you know, work more collaboratively, I think is definitely important.
I think I'd quite like to work at a hospital in the comms team. I feel like I'd like to be more involved in campaigns and things.
Hey, there's a job at Wigan.
Is there? Is there?
Yeah. It's on NHS jobs at the minute.
Oh, right. The only thing is I've got a good hours set up, yeah.
Where do you live?
Salford. I live in Monton.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're on 1:30. Shall I shut the rooms?
Yes, please.
Oh, it takes forever to close and open them, doesn't it?
It feels like it, but when you're actually participating in a session, it doesn't actually feel like long. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you didn't get cut off mid-conversation. It always happens. I hope that was all right for everyone. Is there anyone brave enough to feedback first? Who would like to share what they talked about in the room?
I don't mind.
Go on, Janet. Brilliant. Thank you.
It was mixed, really. About myself, it was about I've worked right the way through in the office. I've done 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. One of the other ladies in our room has been at home all the time. Another one was on maternity leave, so hadn't been out for ages. So it's all a bit mixed. I prefer to go in the office so many days a week, but one lady said she prefers to manage her own workspace at home. And they do MS Teams and things like that. So it's been very mixed. I think I was just looking at the questions. We've learned over the last 12 months, mine is the hybrid working and to get that right. Others is to get their own space at home and get that sorted. What does a good day look like? For one of them, it's working from home, being able to manage everything themselves, and then another, it's nice to be in the office at times to have that interaction. For me, it's a mix of both, really. I don't like the travelling in and out, but I do like the interaction. So but I feel that I've missed the interaction with my team, even though we do it on MS Teams. I don't think it's the same.
Yeah, so social connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would probably agree with you, you know, that I think that has been raised like a number of times, you know, around that kind of finding the balance when you're working at home and going into the office, but then being on virtual calls most of the time when you're in the office. And I think that's where we have to find the balance, isn't it? If we're having those corporate days and those days in the office, then surely that time needs to be protected for face-to-face things. And that's something that I think is becoming more and more apparent, because otherwise, what's the point?
I did say though, since we've gone back, since more people are coming back, we've moved around in the pandemic. We started in Fountain Street, went to Bridgewater House. Now we're in the Town Hall extension, which is supposed to be our new home. but they've refitted it and it's got booths, it's got collaborative
nice.
working spaces. So the ratio of people to desks has gone down to about 6 to 1. So it's gone much down, but there's a lot more places to go and sit and be able to work quietly.
Yeah.
So it is quite good, but we still not got massive numbers in, but it's getting a bit busier. So
yeah. Good. Thanks for sharing, Janet. Who would like to go next? Has anybody got anything different that they want to share?
I'm happy to go for our gang, but I didn't write the last down because I got excited as we were talking. So I was really good on question 1. So you might have to help me, Lindsay and Claire, if that's okay. So what we've learned about the last 12 months, Claire had been on a self-care webinar, and I think that overtook our conversation quite a bit. There was a lady on there, wasn't there? She had 4 kids. She was doing a PhD. Oh, go on, Claire.
Yeah, she had 4 children. She was doing a PhD. She's like a Wonder Woman. We were all like, how are you doing this? And she was just basically set very, very clear boundaries. And I was just in awe of her. And for somebody who's a bit of a boundary pusher myself, to have to set about clear boundaries, it can be quite an alien concept to start with. But once you begin, you can't stop. So well worth doing. Let you carry on, Nicola.
No, that's good. And we discussed, sort of over the last 12 months, it's okay to say no, and to set that structure as well. Lindsay felt very strongly about that. For me, it was about, sort of that protected time can be swallowed up quite easily. So it is, I use the example, I go dancing once a week, and the number of ladies that can't turn up for an hour because something else takes over, you've got to be a bit selfish around that. And I think we've all learnt around, sort of working at home and how we need to set different boundaries to protect our well-being. What does a good day look like? So it's about start and finishing and setting priorities, and sort of we're going into the office a bit more now, so it sets a clear structure to the day. For me, it's crossing stuff off my list, and sort of just thinking about priorities for Lindsay, and just being aware that we're moving forward, because sometimes a good day can feel very different one day to the next day. And yeah. And certainly Claire felt that, sort of over when she gets a lot of her energy from her team as well. So if if it's going a bit flat or it's quite quiet, I think Lindsay mentioned it as well, then, sort of we're filling those gaps. So that can be a good day or a bad day, which is dictated by other people as well, a little bit. And what do we need to do this? This is where I got so overexcited that I've not really written anything down, ladies, so please help me out. We talked about the hybrid model I've written down, but I can't even remember what that's about. Lindsay or Claire, do you remember at all?
I think we were saying about balance, really, just trying to achieve balance in terms of the activities that we do throughout the day. And I think we're just all in agreement that if we have structure and we can prioritise how best to spend our time, then we'll have better weeks. But depends on the demands of your job, and that sometimes can be horrific. I'm sure we've all felt it at times, and it is kind of how you balance that, especially when you are working in a hybrid environment. It can be, everybody's job's slightly different. So I think everybody needs to focus on the mental health, mental wealth. It should be part of what we do day in and day out, but sometimes it tends to fall off the tree. Like I can be a 10 today, I might be I don't know what was the one that was lying on the floor. I could be that tomorrow.
And I think it's calling that out, isn't it, and recognizing it, Claire, and you know what, it's okay to feel like that, but often, as you've just said, and it comes up all the time, the first thing to go is the well-being stuff. And that is the stuff that we need to draw upon more when we're in that pressured environment, when we're in that time where things are really difficult and challenging, that's the time when we need to do more of that good stuff that tops up our tanks and our resilience. And we will talk a little bit about that in a minute. But you know, that is absolutely a key point. What's been made there. Anyone else got anything different to share?
I'm just thinking, you know, when we're talking about protected time, I think that's important as well, about setting those boundaries with maybe some family members that haven't got the flexibility that we have got from working from home, that they understand that work is not something that we go to, work is something that we do. So just because, you know, I don't need to leave the house at 7 o'clock doesn't mean that my time needs to be spent doing all the household chores that need to be done at the weekend. I think, I don't know, you try and help people out, don't you? And then I think you make a rod for your own back and you set yourself, and it's about maybe, well, no, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going for a walk for half an hour. I'm not putting the washing on and pegging it out, because it's not actually a break, is it really?
No. It's not, it's your virtual commute, isn't it? And I
Yeah,
think there is a lot of
yeah.
people that have incorporated that throughout the pandemic,
Yeah.
who have been working at home, and I cannot resonate with you enough around that working from home. And where I am with my family, they think, oh, mum's at home all day.
Yeah.
You know, actually, no, I'm working, and I'm working really hard, thank you.
Yeah.
And, you know, that it's that acknowledgement of that. But I think it's how we manage that, and it's an unknown, isn't it? And we can only manage that with what works for us within our own families. And I think it's how we get around that personally. So you're quite right. Setting those boundaries is a real key point, and a really great point. Like you say, I think getting out for that walk instead of putting the washer on or logging on a little bit earlier. Actually, no, I'm going to get myself a coffee and walk to work, and then back at your doorstep again. It cracks me up every time I hear it, but I think it's great, and I'm yet to do it. But I think I'm going to try. I'm going to set myself a small goal to do that. Okay. Does anyone else have a burning desire to share anything or to speak up? As I say, this is your session. This is about you guys. It's about your well-being. So if anybody would like to speak up, please do. If not, we'll move on. And we'll share slides again, please, Sophie. Okay, so wellbeing champions, again, this might be something that you're already aware of, or something that may be quite new to you. And I know a couple of you've spoken about the, you know, checking in with colleagues on Teams and doing things like that. And this is where this role comes into its own, really. And just to give you some idea about what a wellbeing champion is. So it's a role that's not intended to be full-time. It's not a new role or a paid role within an organisation. It's intended to be filled by colleagues or within a team who have a particular interest in health and well-being, who may be keen to support the well-being of the colleagues, or are generally that go-to person. I know in many areas that I've worked in over the years, there's always been that person that everybody goes to and says, have you got a minute? I'm feeling fed up. You know, I could do with a brew and a chat. And you put the world to rights, as they say. So that's kind of the role of the wellbeing champion. They are there to help signpost. They're there to initiate kind of team things that, you know, what might be going on within the departments, to initiate any wellbeing activities, to be able to share things that are coming up, you know, in terms of staff benefits, what's going on within your organisation, what training's available, what wellbeing sessions are available, and how you can kind of tap into that. So it's just responding to the needs of the workforce, really. And I think to embed that wellbeing culture, and as Claire quite rightly said before, wellbeing is the first thing that goes way off the agenda when we are overworked. And having a champion in place to kind of just remind people, actually, you know, what do we need to do? You can't pour from an empty cup and all of that stuff. So good wellbeing champions within a workplace are an asset to any team, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. If you would like to know more about that role and how to get it up and running within your own workplaces, then just email us at the GM Working Together inbox, and I'll be able to have a chat with you about that and how you go about it. Or if you would like to be part of the network moving into the new organisation, then again, just be in touch. Okay, just moving on. As part of that role, the check-in, check-out, and I think this is a really crucial part of whether you're working in an office, whether you're working virtually, checking in with your colleagues and checking out, and that is just a really important part of your day. Really, to support not only your well-being, but to support those around you as well, and taking a moment to reflect on your day, to know that that you can switch off, that you can rest, and that you can recharge, and it's okay not to be everything to everyone. And I think on one of the most recent sessions that I did, we had one lady on, and it was really refreshing to hear her speak and say, actually, my colleagues around me, they are working through breaks, they're on early in the morning, they're sending emails late at night, they don't take an official lunch break, they're working at the desk. And it really shows me what I don't want to be like. I don't want that. I value my health more than that. And it was such a refreshing kind of moment for me, because you often hear that actually I need to be more like that person that isn't taking a break, that is on early in the morning, that is sending an email at 8 o'clock at night when we should be switched off and spending time with our loved ones and our family. So for me, I think calling those behaviours out and modelling those behaviours and saying, actually, no, I'm taking my lunch break, or I'm going to go on a walk, or I'm going to go and, you know, do whatever it is that you want to do within that time, and set those boundaries for yourself and stick to them. And, you know, again, going back to the feedback that you said, you come up with your own solutions, the people that you aspire to, the lady doing a PhD with 4 kids who set those clear boundaries for herself. How amazing is that? That she can be strong enough and say, actually, I value my well-being, I value my health. And yeah, my work's important to me. Yeah, I love my job and it gives me energy and all the rest of it. But actually, it's not my life. My life is my 4 children, my husband, spending time with people that I want to be around. So checking out at the end of the day with your colleagues, right? Is there anything I can help you with? Do you need any support with that? Right. Let's call it a draw now. We're done for the day. And again, that virtual commute, take yourself out the door, walk yourself back home, if that's what it takes, because we don't have that journey home like we used to do, that commute where we can say, you know, you listen to a certain radio station on the way home from work, and that is your kind of your point in your own mind that you say, right, I'm switched off now, I'm done. But switching off properly, not going home and ruminating or staying at home and did I do that? Did I send that email? Did I lock that cupboard? Did I do this? Did I do that? Because we're not in the moment, and we spend a lot of our time not being present. And how sad is that for those around us, especially those with young families, that you're not actually in the moment. So, okay, I'm ready to move on. Sorry, I can talk about that all day. Stress bucket. Again, this is something that you might be familiar with. You might have not seen it before. Again, different analogies of this, whether it is that phone battery dying, that bucket that's overflowing, that petrol tank that's on empty, whichever way resonates with you, really. And it's about not letting your stress build up. How do you mitigate some of that stuff that shows up for you? How do you know, checking in with yourself, the blob tree. How did I sleep last night? How rested or energized do I feel? Was I thinking about work? Did I have that busy mind when I went to bed? Is there anything that I need to pay particular attention to? You know, I have noticed my mood's not the same. I have noticed I'm not going to the gym. I have noticed I'm not, you know, meeting my friends for that dance class, because they're always the first things to go when we are feeling overwhelmed, stressed, worried, or anxious. And actually, that's the good stuff. That's the stuff that you really need to home in on and do more of. When we're feeling our bucket is getting to that point where it's going to overflow, actually, I need to go to that dance class tonight, because that's what will give me the resilience and the self-care. And that's what it is. Self-care is not selfish. And it's getting your head around that, the boundary stuff, self-care. What do I need to do to look after myself? Because without you being well, you can't look after those around you. You can't support those around you. And often our work suffers as a result of that. If we don't feel that we have had enough sleep, for instance, and that's a regular thing, one night where you have a crap night's sleep, it's not going to, yeah, you'll be tired, but it's not going to have like a huge impact. But if that continues, that can have a massive detrimental effect on your well-being and cause some serious long-term conditions, which, you know, again, until it's forced upon us, we won't have to do anything about it. So check in with yourself, do the stuff. Who here, I know one lady said about dancing just before, so that's great. What else do people do? And just pop it in the chat. What do you do to look after yourself? Jim, good one. Dog walking, watching TV, fine, yeah. Dog walking, love dog walking, love the gym, running, Sophie, brilliant. Yeah, catch up. Yeah, socially connecting with people, it's massive. You know, having that catch up with people, you know, walking and talking, wine. Yeah, in moderation as well, Nicola, please. It's nice to have a glass of wine, of course it is. And you deserve it after your week at work, why not? But it's when those things start to kind of become more frequent, and you've got to watch yourself. So just keep an eye on it. Long bath, yeah. All of those things are self-care. When our stress bucket is fit to the point of bursting, those are the things that you need to do. Get yourself for a walk, have a long bath, because that is self-care, and that will build up your resilience. Anything that you can immerse yourself in, that you lose kind of all your energy and all your thoughts are going into that moment, then that is self-care, and it's a way, it's a mindfulness beauty appointments. Love it. You know, because if you're going for a walk and you're thinking about work, then that's not great. What you need to do when you're going for that dog walk is be in the moment, notice the stuff around you, sitting, stroking your dog, taking, you know, whatever environment you're in, noticing, chatting to people along your way. Good morning. Oh, people with other dogs. Everybody who's got a dog who does dog walking, you can get loads of conversation along the way. I must stop and talk to 1 million people a week. But, you know, doing the good stuff like that, and that is what will keep you energized. It will keep you resilient. And that doesn't mean that you can have everything thrown at you. You know, often our line managers and things like that, management, they think, right, put them on some resilience training, you know, put them on some kind of training that's going to help them to be able to manage the stresses at work. Well, yeah, that's fine, but self-care should be at the top of that, you know, and how we look after ourselves, that should always be at the top of the list. Okay. Next slide. I'm just conscious of time. What's in your control? Love this. I think that this is something that I often revert back to when I do feel really stressed, or things that I I'm finding kind of difficult to manage, get a pen and a pad. Is it in my control? What can I do about that situation? Can I do anything about it? No, I can't. Sack it off. It's not worth your energy. It's not worth investing your health, your well-being, your time into something that is completely beyond your control. And I know that we're in that transitional phase at the moment where people's jobs, and there's a lot of uncertainty around what that new organisation is going to look like and where will I be and what will I be doing. Some of that is not in our control. A lot of it isn't in our control. But by being open and honest and having those conversations with whoever you need to around how what is in your control, and then letting it go. Often things will always keep evolving and changing throughout our lives, and we're all guilty of investing huge amounts of energy into, we've not enough staff, there's going to be changes, there's uncertainty where I'm going to be with my job and all the rest of it. Things will unfold and things will happen regardless of whether you invest your energies or your time into it. So again, the biggest thing that is in your control is how you respond and react to that. And the best way of responding and reacting to things that are not in your control is by forgetting about them and leave it, just parking it, leave it there. Can't control it, can't do anything about it, leave it. What can I control? I can control me. I can control how I react to that, how I respond to that situation. By investing my energy and sacrificing my own health, don't need to do it. Sack it off. Okay, next slide, please. When to ask for help. Again, if you experience really high levels of distress and unable to focus and things like that, within the toolkit there are lots of signposting and resource and support mechanisms in place to be able to support staff. If you're finding that you're managing a team on someone within your team and you're noticing these high levels of distress, then please check out the toolkit, have a look in there, all the resource and information. You don't need to take that on board. That is not yours to carry around. That is up to you to say, this is beyond kind of my expertise. There are experts, there is support available for you in terms of X, Y, Z. Within the toolkit, there are so many resources, and as I touched on at the beginning, different hyperlinks to different things. So, whether it's about yourself or whether it's about supporting others, there's loads of stuff in there, and there's people that you can speak to as well on the phone. It isn't all just about signposting to an app or some kind of information, if you like. There's loads of stuff in there, so please use that as a resource and a tool. Okay, next slide, please. Oh. Final thought, and this is really for me, it signifies well-being. If you don't look after your wellness, you will be forced to look after your illness. And it's kind of, read that again, because our health and our well-being is so important, and we don't value it until something goes wrong. And often it's either us ourselves or one of our loved ones, and we think, what do I need to do to make myself better? What do I have to do? Do it before, let's do that preventative stuff, do the self-care stuff. You can stop sharing now, so we'll do the polls in a sec, but do the good stuff, look after yourself. There's only one you. Do the things that serve you, and the jobs will be there when we're not. God forbid if something happened to me tonight and I didn't make it back to work ever again, have been replaced. But you're not replaceable to your family. You're not replaceable to your partners, to your loved ones, to your mums, to your dads. You know, you matter, and your well-being matters. And why would we ever put that at the lower down in our priorities? Take your time, take your breaks, look after yourselves. Okay, that's me done. Does anyone have any questions or anything to say or share? It's been a bit of a quick pot. Lindsay, go on.
Yeah, I was just wondering, so obviously I'm in a different organisation, we're a partner and a stakeholder. And when you're talking about wellbeing champions and the toolkit and everything, I'm just wondering, you know, will it extend to other large organisations? I know we're all very separate kind of thing, but when we talk about working collectively, you know, I think it'd be useful that we could share this across organisations. But I'm mindful all organisations will probably have their own and stuff.
I think you're right. That's the point of the kind of Greater Manchester. The toolkit is a resource for everyone to look at and to share. How you know, initiate that into your own workplace is up to you. But there will be a network of people that will come together and will share good practice. Will share ideas because the champions work at local level. I can't come into your team and say, right, well, what you need to do is X, Y, Z, because that's going to improve everybody's well-being. You will know, and if you go back to that first slide that I shared about what Sandeep says, what matters to you, you know, and that's the thing. That's what you need to look at between yourself and your team. What's important to us? What matters to us? And then you will start to kind of build on that in terms of initiating some of the well-being activities. But it's just making a start on it. And once you get started, I've had some weird and wonderful things, you know, from people that they've kind of implemented within their own workplaces. And I talk about this one all the time, but it's my firm favourite. One group of staff, they download a horse race on an app every week, and they all get a number. And each week, someone wins the race, so they all watch it on this iPad. And then whoever wins gets a box of wellbeing treats, and they all just kind of contribute to it. You know, it can be a face mask, lip balm, a pen, you know, just something, but it brings people together. It's a bit of fun and it encourages people to have a laugh, you know, because that's really important. But yeah, I don't know if I answered your question or not then.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Anyone else got anything to share, or we're just going to move on to a couple of polls just to finish off if no one else wants to share anything. Okay, go for it, Dawn. Thank you. So your call to action, what's one thing that you're going to implement? And I won't be checking up on you, but it'd be nice, you know, one thing that you're going to implement over this next week to improve well-being in your own workplaces. Boundaries, excellent. Feedback, work patterns, well-being walks, love it. Promote. And that's the purpose of these sessions as well. They're there to kind of tell your colleagues, you know, you need to take some time out. This is your kind of hour out of your day that is for you, and having that permission to do that. It's really important. Definitely have a look at the toolkit. We will share slides and things with you all, and the links that we have shared. So the next question is slightly different. One thing you'll do next week to improve your personal well-being. So we're talking about work now, we're talking about personal well-being. What are you going to do?
It's only showing one word of what you put in.
Oh, is it? We're quite new to polls. We usually use Menti. If you want to pop it in the chat, you can do. But with Menti, you can put a few things in. It's just we're trying to use just one platform to manage things, just because it's easier for people, and you don't have to grab your phone or go into something else. So just put loads of different words in. It's fine. We'll pick them up. I'm definitely going to do the virtual route to work. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I'm definitely going to be more accountable and do that. How's that felt for everyone? Has that been all right? Made you think a little bit more about kind of you matter? Yeah, good. Welcome, Claire. Anytime. Good. So we're at 2:04. If anyone's not got a burning desire to say anything or to stay on, or I've got any more questions, then you are free to get off. Go and grab yourselves a brew and have some self-care. Self-care on me. So Michelle said, send them my way.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Nice to meet everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day.
You too. Bye now.
Bye, bye. Sophie gone. Did you press record? You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. No, it wasn't me, but I can stop it. Oh, I can stop it.